Vibrant souls, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Vibrant Soul Tarot, and I'm super excited and super grateful for you guys to be, whether you're coming across this channel for the first time or if you're a returning viewer. I am grateful for all of you, so just thank you guys for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you, and thank you for all the love and support that I get from you guys with this channel. It means so much to me. So just wanted to show my gratitude. All right, so the reading at hand today is what's been on that person's mind lately when it comes to you and when it comes to the connection. So hopefully, if you have a specific person in mind, this reading will offer you some insights, some clarity, some messages, or some answers that you're needing when it comes to this person, whether it's this person and this connection in general, or precisely what's been on their mind. If you are coming into this reading and you don't have a specific person in mind, you can set the intention now before choosing a pile. You can think of a person. Or if you want to come into this reading, which I do see some of the comments say, sometimes you guys don't have any person in mind and you just felt like you just wanted to watch it for whatever reason, whether that's to receive messages, maybe a specific person comes through and you'll realize it later, or you guys just flat out wanted to. That's okay too. That's enough of a reason to do anything. Sometimes it's just say I wanted to. But either way, your reasons are your reasons. I'm just happy you're here. Let's go ahead and get into the pile selections so we can see which one you guys feel most drawn to. Whether you guys are drawn to one or multiple, that's up to you to decide too. I get questions a lot in the comments of like, well, what if I'm drawn to more than one pile? That's perfectly okay. There may be a reason for that. Like maybe it's a different perspective. Maybe it's a continuation. Sometimes it can be different timelines. Like the first pile you watch is like maybe like past energy. The next one is present, or one of them's present, one of them's future energy. These are all things that you'll recognize yourself. So don't confuse yourself. I'm not trying to overwhelm you guys with all this information. It's something that you'll naturally feel. Just listen to that too. Another question that I get asked a lot from you guys too is what if I'm watching a reading on myself? Sometimes you guys say it's like so on point to exactly how you are feeling or what's going on with you that it almost seems like impossible that you could be watching a reading on someone else because it's like so aligned with what's happening with you. So the confusion with that is there is mirroring, and mirroring happens when you and the person are kind of feeling the same, or you're kind of in the same energy, right? With mirroring, you will see similarities, or you can relate and you can understand that that's how they would be feeling because you feel like that too and stuff like that. But you can also sense their energy in the reading as well too, from the other messages or just intuitively. Now, if it feels like it's just you and there's no way, like it's almost uncanny that it could be someone else, then it probably is. That is 100% possible. The way that I like to explain it too is that if you were to look at each pile here as a different collective with collective messages and collective, a collective reading on the topic at hand, you are a part of a collective as well. I'm sorry. So like basically like your mind, what's on your mind, your thoughts, your feelings are definitely part of a collective and can come through in one of these energies, in one of these piles. So now knowing that, there may be reasons why your intuition chose a pile that is you, or chose you to watch a reading that is about you and your feelings, whether it's to discover some things about yourself. It could also be like a form of release. Maybe you're feeling like you're processing these feelings by doing that. Also, it could be like validation, or maybe there's just things you need to hear and you need to see. That's perfectly fine too. The good news with that too, because a lot of you guys come for obviously the other person, right? That's not what you chose, is to watch a reading on yourself. If you found a pile that you are in, it's a very, very high chance that the person that you are inquiring about is in another pile too. So most likely you may have felt drawn to like two piles. They're probably in the other one, okay? So again, just you decide what's best for you and you do what you want. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a tangent there, but I do like to answer some frequently asked questions. And if I see a question more often or like over and over again in the comments, I do want to address it and take the time to address it, guys. So I promise though I'm done. Let's go ahead and get into the pile selections. We're going to start with pile number 1. Pile number 1, we have this beautiful flashy purple stone. I believe it was called like Midnight Stone. It's definitely dyed, but it is beautiful, is it not? That doesn't make it any less beautiful. So we have this stone for pile 1, and then we have the Guided Hand Tarot for pile number 1 too, okay? So you can choose from the stone, from the deck, or just that feeling of like, I want to check out this pile. Pile number 2, we have this ruby inzoisite dagger. Well, I call it a dagger, but you could call it a sword as well, whatever you like. And then we have the textured tarot. Those are the options for pile number 2. Then last but not least, for pile number 3, we have this smoky quartz tower, and we have the 3 Trees Tarot. So this is for pile number 3. Okay. So please take your time if you need to in choosing your pile or piles. You can pause the video here if you need more time. There is no rush. When you do have your pile or piles selected, I will post the timestamps for each one in the description box below for your convenience as always. Feel free to check out any additional information while you're there, such as the channeled songs that are connected to each pile. It's just like a little add-on message to your reading. If you have any questions, like what are the names of all of the decks that will be used in each reading, that will be in the description box too. If you have any questions about me or anything like that, just check it out. And if you do not see your question answered, you can comment it and I will try my best to get back to you or answer it in a timely manner. I am only human. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. But yeah, I will try. If it's important, you can comment it maybe on multiple readings or multiple posts and something. I have to see it eventually, right? So, but just thank you for those of you that do that though. Thank you for those of you that comment, whether it's your questions, your experiences, your information, your insights, your knowledge. I love to see all of it. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to those who like the videos as well. That's such a quick way to show support for me and for the channel, is just to give the video a quick thumbs up. And thank you to those of you who are subscribed too. I couldn't do it without you. And I love this community that we are building. And I love to be able to read for you guys and to connect with you guys in that way. It's really cool. So again, just showing my gratitude. But other than that, guys, I will stop yapping and I'll start yapping now on your pile. So no more intro yapping, now is pile yapping. But I can't wait to see you guys at whatever pile or piles you choose. And like I said, I'll definitely see you there. Bye. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Guided Hand Tarot deck, or if you chose this beautiful purple stone we have right here, you found the right place. So today we are looking at the person on your mind. We are asking what's been on their mind and anything else you need to know about this person, what they're thinking, anything along those lines. So I am glad that you are here. I'm extra glad today. This is the first pile of the first reading I've done in I want to say a couple weeks, and I've really missed you guys. I took a little hiatus. Now I'm back. So it feels pretty good. All right. So if you are new here, first things first, we just set a little intention, invite spirit in, and then we hop right into the reading. So Spirit, if you could please tune me into my pile 1's collective energy. If you can please show me in pile 1 with the most clarity what's been on this person's mind. Can we give pile 1 any insights, clarity, or answers that they are needing about this person, about what they've been thinking, about what's going on with them, anything in regards to this person and the connection, please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. So what's been on this person's mind when it comes to you? What's been on this person's mind when it comes to pile 1, Spirit? We have the Seven of Swords here. Got hairs. Oops, sorry. Oops, and I hit you. I have a dog that sheds, so if you see any little black hairs on here, it's them. What is on their mind? What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 1, Spirit, please and thank you. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands. We also have the Hierophant. And we have the Two of Pentacles. Clarifying the Seven of Swords here, Spirit. We have, oh, 2 cards coming out. We have the Emperor and the Nine of Swords. Let's space these out a little bit more. Clarifying the Seven of Wands. What's been on their mind? We have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Wands. Clarifying the Hierophant. A lot of cards coming out, I just realized. So we'll talk about it when the time comes. Okay, so clarifying the Hierophant here. We have the Three of Swords. Clarifying the Two of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Swords. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. I felt like I wanted to pull that card. So we have a lot of queens here coming out. So what's been on their mind when it comes to you? The Seven of Swords being the first card to come out. It's interesting because it is a card of the mind. It's the swords, which is the mental energy. But this is telling me that this person has kind of been hiding a lot of things from you. I think that there's a lot of thoughts, feelings, and things that go on in this person's mind when it comes to you that they're maybe a little reluctant either to let you know, maybe just depending on your circumstances, they can't let you know. They're also very guarded for some reason when it comes to you, when it comes to the situation. And I think that that's because they have urges. They have thoughts and they have feelings that they do, I think, want to act on. And they just feel it for whatever reason. It's in their best interest to kind of resist that at all cost, at least at this current time. That could be, like I said, because of your guys' current circumstances, whatever's happening between you and them, like if you're not in contact with this person. And if that's not the case, it's most likely because this person feels like that's the safest bet, like that's gonna keep them safe at this time. It feels like this person is playing their cards close to them, you know, kind of poker face energy, like I'm not gonna tell you what's going on, but underneath the surface there's a lot of stuff, and we'll talk about that in a second. Another thing with the Seven of Wands here too, I'm sorry, the Seven of Wands right here, the Seven of Swords, we're still talking about that one, is they're not sure if they can trust this situation, and they're not quite sure if they can trust themselves. Like they probably, like I said, get the ideas and urges and they're like, I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I should. There's a lot of distrust here. If dishonesty is a theme here between you and them, like that could be something that they're kind of regretting, because we have the Nine of Swords here, which is a card of like mental anguish. It's a card of like anxiety. It's just a lot of things ruminating to where it can, you know, sometimes be overwhelming. You can see the person here in this card, they're like crying. It almost looks like a moon behind this, but I'm not quite sure. It also kind of looks like it could be a planet. Like to me, I'm not sure if this is actually what it is, but to me right now, this kind of looks like Neptune. And Neptune is all about illusions. It's about a lot of stuff, but right in this reading right now, we're going to say right now is coming up is about illusions, right? Also, Neptune has a lot of things that kind of governs too. So if you feel called, feel free to look at that. But it's basically like, I don't know what's true or not. I don't know even sometimes like how I feel. It kind of feels like this person is in this elusive, kind of confused energy. But instead of like addressing this, instead of like coming out of their comfort zone or doing something about it, they're being very, I would even say a little stubborn right now when it comes to this situation. Another thing, I'm feeling that there's disappointment, and also it kind of feels like with this energy and that energy, it really feels like this person's like, I have things that I want to tell you, like I have stuff to tell you, but I'm not, and it's causing issues with them internally. Because the Emperor is all about self-control, it's about discipline, and it's about us being in control. And it kind of feels like that's their way right now of staying in control and not addressing these issues. Maybe even trying not to think about it at times. But they can't help but to, there's something here that's really bothering them when it comes to the situation. If it is actions with the Seven of Swords, like if this person, it was dishonest or did something kind of shady, it's definitely coming through as a like sign of regret. And I think that even if that's not the case for all of you, there's things left unsaid. There's things that they didn't say, and there's things that they didn't do, and that can be causing some sort of regret as well. And the Emperor here is like, instead of being the mature person right now, instead of like picking themselves up by their bootstraps and like addressing this or doing what their heart actually really wants, they're not. And I think that's where this like inner anguish and all of this kind of conflicted energies, specifically of the mind, because there's a lot of swords, especially there's like swords that are in the kind of challenging aspects, so it's causing that too. I just heard this person's like, I don't necessarily know what to do with you right now. All right, you know, speaking of that too, with the Seven of Wands, we have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Wands. It's really hard for this person to kind of detach from you. It's really hard for this person to let go at this time from you. Although it may seem like on the surface it's not, that everything's cool, calm, and collected, they're definitely putting up a fight when it comes to that with the Seven of Wands. Another thing too is I'm hearing their ego is kind of getting in the way of this. They feel very defensive of themselves right now. This is actually a little child in this card too, that's kind of depicted as the one standing their ground. So maybe this is due to like inner child, it's just like inner child, I want to say instances, I don't know why, that are causing them to react this way or causing them to act this way, be quite defensive. It's almost like a form of protection, like we were kind of seeing before. But I do want to say that with the Four of Wands here, there's something here about wanting to come home, or like wanting to revisit something, because the Four of Wands can be a homecoming. So it's like kind of coming back to like the Three of Wands is like you go out on an adventure, you're going out on the journey, and the Four of Wands is you're returning, right? And so it kind of feels like in this case they keep coming back to something. And with the Eight of Cups initially coming out in reverse, intuitively I kind of like picked up on that, to where I was like, okay, it's really hard for this person to let go emotionally, and it can also cause them a struggle to kind of let go and just enjoy the moment. That's something that can kind of get in the way. Like and I'm feeling the Emperor energy here too with this, like they want to be in control, so it's really hard to kind of just sit back, let go, and enjoy. That could have been something that was like causing a rift in this connection between you and them too, or maybe it's just something that this person is needing to look at and to kind of work on. But regardless, there's something here that they're not able to completely detach from, but they're trying really hard to fight it with the Seven of Wands. You know, I kind of seen a theme here so far with vulnerability. This person could struggle with being vulnerable. That's something that a lot of us do kind of struggle with in connections as well, especially where if it hits really hard, or if it's something really deep, or you may have to kind of put your pride to the side And even if if there's like mystery on how the other person's gonna take it and stuff like that, or even if it's just a feeling, sometimes we don't even know why we don't like to do certain things. It's just kind of an inner feeling that's like, no, this isn't safe, don't do that, put on this facade, put on this front, fight it. That's kind of what I'm getting here from this person. And on that note, we have the Hierophant and the Three of Swords. This person has been learning a lot of really tough lessons, be it with this situation. There's been a lot of like looking within, and there's been a lot of healing that has happened with this situation, but it doesn't feel like it's been the easiest with the Three of Swords. Like, it's not like something that they necessarily wanted to do, or if there was an outcome or is an outcome particularly between you and them right now, it's definitely not what they want, because the Hierophant can also represent us in something that we want to be really committed to, something that we can see us putting an effort into as well. And with the Three of Swords here, this just feels like it's been really hard. And it kind of feels like, yeah, like the initial message is like this person's been just learning really tough lessons right now about this situation. Okay. Another thing with the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, regardless of all this stuff we've been talking, like regardless of all of this seemingly very like tough, kind of difficult energy, they're trying their best to kind of focus on other things. It's like the Queen of Swords, when the Queen of Swords comes out, especially like right next to the Three of Swords, it's kind of this energy of like, I know that I'm feeling this right now, but we got stuff to do. You know, like life goes on. This life isn't gonna wait for nobody. You know, I have other priorities, I have other things going on, and I have to keep on keeping on. And so it's interesting that this is at the end of this spread, just because it's like all of this can kind of show that too, like with the resistance and the things and like the control and all of that. But they're like, at the end of the day, I have to do what I have to do, and I have to keep moving forward. And that's kind of like a lot of the times when the Queen of Swords comes up in love readings, it's kind of the energy of like needing to embody that as well. And I do think that they go back and forth with you. Like with all of these queens, if you do resonate with feminine energy, and you don't have to be a woman, of course, but if you do resonate more with the feminine energy, and if you think that you could be showing up as the queens, there's a message of not really knowing how you feel right now, and so they may be assuming the worst, or the worst in their mind. So let me elaborate a little bit. Like, an example of this would be like, well, all that said and done, and you know, I could, okay, wait, Spirit's kind of like directing it almost as like making an excuse for themselves to stay in this kind of comfort zone energy. So it's almost like they're like, well, I could address this, I could tell pile one this, but I know that they don't care, or I know that they hate me maybe, or I know that they're not worried about me and they're worried about other stuff, or maybe they have other options and other people, kind of anything, right? To kind of just validate them not necessarily doing anything at this time, or maybe not doing anything, but like not doing what they truly want to do, if that makes sense. And with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands too, they see you as somebody who's, oh, we have the Two of Cups under there too. Yeah, I was going to say they see you as somebody who is quite magnetic. You have a lot going for you. And with the Queen of Pentacles coming in reverse right here, they may just honestly have a belief that you could deserve better than them, even if it's just in this moment. Like, even if they feel like they're just not able to give you what they think you deserve. Like, almost like it would be doing you a disservice. Interesting. Okay. We're just going to quickly pull some oracles. And I mean quickly because I was not expecting these tarot messages to be that long. So let's go ahead and see. Spirit, what's going on in this person's mind when it comes to pile 1? What else can you tell us? I feel like there's a want to kind of mature a lot here. What's going on in this person's mind? What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 1, Spirit? There we go. Bottom of the deck, we have square, semi-square with tension. That's a tough energy. Oh, and then we have the IC with the root, which is like things rooted deeply. Usually the IC can represent our early stages of life and our childhood and things like that. Yeah, I think that's coming through as kind of like a mirror reflection of what this person's been feeling when it comes to you. It does kind of feel a little challenging, I'm not going to lie. And so with this, all this resistant energy here too, they may try to not think about this situation too much. Okay, so we have passion ignited, and we have the 11th house with community. And they're like, I wonder if this fire is burning for me. It kind of feels like, so I want to be honest, this card came out right now in reverse. There could be almost like a feeling, I want to say a feeling of like depression when it comes to, or like what's on their mind when it comes to you. Like maybe they're not feeling like their true self right now. Maybe they're feeling a little bit down and stuff. But nonetheless, with the Queen of Wands, I was feeling that too. There is a passion and an attraction for you. They may wonder with the 11th house, what you're doing, who you're hanging out with. If you guys have mutual friends, they could be like asking about you. They could also be asking their friends and stuff for advice. But I also like to think of the 11th house too as like a house of our hopes and our dreams a lot of the time. It's also the correlation sign to Aquarius, which is correlated to the star in tarot, which is again like our hopes, our dreams. It could also be like faith and things like that. And so all of this kind of coming together kind of makes me think that there is still like hope for something. But right now, for whatever reason, they're feeling a bit discouraged. There's a lot going on with their inner self. Is what I'm hearing. There's a lot going on with their inner healing. Like they have been doing a lot of like inner work, even if it is sometimes unintentional, because of just the things that have been coming up. I'm hearing that they're trying to get back like on the right track here. Maybe they're trying to find some sort of motivation in their life, something to kind of live for, something that they deem worthy. Because if you and this person are in a separation, that could have caused a huge rift between that. You could have been like a light. And you don't have to be in a separation, but when I am channeling, and when it comes to collective messages, sometimes it's kind of like the majority rules kind of thing. So that's how it's coming out. So just make it fit for your situation as well. But I do think, though, you have like lit some sort of fire within them. And with the 3 of Swords here and this like burning heart chakra energy right here that we're seeing, there is a lot of heart chakra activation here, or like almost like a release of like old wounds, old things, maybe even old patterns coming up for this person here. Okay, I want to get some channeled messages. I'm actually really interested to see. Oh, I just cut the deck. It says you're perfect. And then I never thought I would feel a love as strong as this. There is some intensity I can definitely see. Okay, Spirit, what are some thoughts and feelings, or what's been on their mind when it comes to my pile 1, this person? Spirit, what's been on their mind when it comes to pile 1? Why I just heard uh-oh. What the heck? Okay. What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 1, Spirit? Oh, I have so much passion in my heart for you. It scares me. And then look, we have the passion ignited. Wow. You definitely make this person feel things that are quite intense. And like I said, this burning in here, like, it makes me think of the song, like Usher, Let It Burn. Like, you know how sometimes if you have like these really strong feelings and you're not doing anything about it, or you can't do anything about it, it just burns, right? It's just in there, and it's like, wow. So that's definitely correlated. I have so much passion in my heart for you. It scares me with the passion ignited. And like I said, if you and this person are not talking, it feels almost like I said, I was feeling like a depressive type of energy. Like, I want that spark back. I want that passion back. I want that energy back. I'm looking at the number 1 too. I was going to say I want my pile 1 back. Like I said, depending on the circumstances of your situation. Now, if you're not in a separation with this person can just be really hesitant to share a lot of the feelings and the deep emotions and the things going on with them, that they try to kind of like distract themselves. They may even just try to detach in the current moment, and that could be very hard for them at the same time too. So we have summer. Summertime could be significant too. Also, when you think of summer, you think of hot. Summer heat. I guess that could technically depend on where you live. Okay, so we have, I don't feel like we're intimate enough. This person could have like some sort of wall up too. Like, they want to be more intimate with you. They want to be closer to you. I'm going like this is even beyond like just sexual urges, although with all this passion that we've just been talking about, I would not doubt that that is the case too. But it kind of feels like there's something like whether they have a wall up or there's just distance between you and them, there's something like they want to get closer. We have you make me feel things. Yeah, that was apparent. That's been apparent in this whole reading. And then we have, I never thought I would feel a love as strong as this. So this is what we saw when we cut the deck and it fell out again. So their feelings for you are quite strong. As we can see that. And that's probably why they feel such a pull. That's probably why they're getting so challenged right now. And even with how we were talking about the hopes and wishes with the passion ignited, there's such a strong desire. Ooh, bottom of the deck, we have will you marry me? Oh my gosh, will you marry me along with the Hierophant? Shoot, they probably do think of like marriage, or that does cross their mind. Or even if it's not just a direct marriage, it's like the future with you, where this could go, this relationship. Also, the Hierophant is the sign of Taurus. That could be significant for some of you as well too. Phew, it is intense. It's so funny, like this is the first reading that we've done in or I've done in a while, and of course the first one would be like this intense. Like, it almost feels like I need to like catch my breath. I don't know if this person's like they could be a smoker or a vapor. They don't have to be though, but it kind of feels like there's something here that they kind of do to take, that sounds like kind of cheesy, but I was gonna say to take the edge off. Or maybe this person is, if they do that, and like I said, just take this if it resonates, they've been kind of smoking a lot more or vaping a lot more. And I don't condone any of those habits. I like to always recommend healthy habits, but if somebody does something, you know, whatever. Yeah, for some reason that was a message coming up. And I could like feel it in my chest, it feels like. Okay. I kind of just started grabbing this other channel message deck, so we're just going to go with it. I feel like this has been a lot more detailed and in-depth than than initially anyone had planned. So I'm here for it. Oh my gosh, I saw this one and I didn't want to say that. So we have I don't deserve you. That's what we were talking about with the Queen of Pentacles here as well too. That could be something like within them, like their own thing. You have, you drive me crazy. I want to move in together. I blamed you for things that I did. Sorry, this deck is old. It's all tattered and everything stained up. I blamed you for things that I did. Projection. I'm hearing with that projection. Bottom of the deck, we have I'm happy being single right now, which is interesting because of like what's going on. That could mean that this person is kind of in a limbo or kind of a pull to either to let go of one sort of lifestyle in order to have this one. If they even think that's possible right now is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of doubt and belief when it comes to the situation about what they can obtain and what they can do. Again, I'm hearing for some of you that could be due to past circumstances, things that had happened, things that have been said and done, you know, that can cause a rift. For some of you, for others of you, this could just be because it's just naturally something that comes up when there is this sense of intensity, or there is this kind of uncomfortability, kind of getting out of your comfort zone and stuff. I just heard putting it all on the line. Ooh, right as I said that, putting it all on the line, right here we have I'm scared to tell you how I really feel. If I can't imagine myself with anyone else. Let's get one more. We're already in it pretty deep, huh? Pile one, so let's go ahead. This is going to be the last of the channeled messages. Then we're going to get some confirmation, hopefully, for you. We're going to get some zodiac signs and some initials. It seems like you guys like that and you guys resonate with that. So we're going to keep doing that. If you like it, ask and you shall receive. Okay. What is the last channeled message, Spirit, from this person? What's been on their mind when it comes... I can't move on. Oh yeah, that's that 8 of Cups in reverse too. It's always interesting when we see these reflect the messages in the tarot. I usually just take that as further confirmation. Sometimes too, the messages can repeat because there's really not more to it. But I do feel like there is a lot of depth to these messages too. So I can see like, it's not as simple as like maybe some others. Bottom of the deck, I miss you so much, but I'm too stubborn to tell you. And that, oh my gosh, sorry. That feels like the correlation to like, I have all of these feelings. I have things I want to say. I'm keeping it to myself and I think that was like one of the first messages, was it not? Like this person is kind of withholding information and they're being a little stubborn about it for whatever reason. For their own reasons, I should say, because we've been talking about what those reasons are. So, very interesting. I don't like that. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's go ahead. That's what happens when you have things for a long time, though. They get withered. They get messed up, the edges and stuff like that. You can see this. But you know what? There's that thing that's been going around on the internet too. And like, I forgot about it because I remember like reading about it a long time ago and I loved that. About, what is it? Like the wabi-sabi, when things, you know, they have a little edge to them or they have a little wear and tear. It makes them more beautiful, right? It shows like where they've been and stuff. So the imperfections are just as perfect. Okay. Spirit, let's get some confirmation for my pile 1 now. Let's see. What are some significant zodiac signs? We'll also do the months as well, just in case. And some significant initials here for my pile 1. So we already have Taurus as well. That was a prominent one. And that can also represent the month of May and the end of April. So Spirit, what are some significant zodiac signs for pile 1? Oh, we have Virgo. Okay, so the month of September could be significant too, or the end of August. Lots of earth energy already too with Taurus and Virgo. We have Sagittarius coming through. So the month of December, the end of November, too, for Sagittarius. And another significant zodiac sign. We have Leo. Okay. August and the end of July. Sometimes I really have to think. I have to put my thinking brain on and remember these months. Okay, and some significant initials for my pile 1. Now, I do want to say, if this reading really resonated with you, and I would say if you're still here to this point, most likely it did, that's kind of like an intuitive thing too. You wouldn't stay a lot of the time and watch something if it didn't have any sort of meaning, although you can too. I don't like always to speak in absolutes, but if and in my experience too, if there's like a reading that I know like isn't really for me, I tend to kind of hop off and do something else, watch something else pretty early on, you know. But oh yeah, my point was, sorry, I get a little off track, guys. I told you it's my first day back in a while, so I have to get used to it. But my point is if you don't see their zodiac sign or you don't see their initials, it doesn't mean you have to throw the whole thing out and start over and say it was all for nothing, you know. Just trust your own discernment. This is just meant to be a little extra confirmation for some of you. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so the first one we have is Q. I knew that was going to be a problem. I'm going to try to do it over here because these are all going to slide off. So we have Q. And you know what? I was picking up the Y. Like, so it kind of makes me think of like questions and Y with the Q and Y. Or like a Q&A, questions and answers. Does this not look like it spells? We have FCK right there. That definitely looks like it spells like fuck. Excuse my language for some of you. But that doesn't even feel like the sexual way. That feels like frustration. This person could be quite frustrated right now. Ooh, maybe a little bit angry, whether that's angry at themselves or the circumstances. Interesting. Okay. So we have a W. We'll just get these. We have an F, a C, and a K. Since we already talked about those. And the F. I think there's another F too. Oh, and the F was right on top of the T. Which could, for some of you, if you resonate with the twin flame energy or the twin flame journey, you don't have to though. If for some reason I wanted to say the fuck. Like WTF. Oh, look, right here. This person could think or question, or maybe even you too, could sometimes just be like, what the fuck? We also have a G and an M. Somebody's grandma could be very present in spirit, but also this makes me think of good morning. Maybe this person fights the urge to text you good morning. So we have a GM, a V, an L. Oh, look at, we have all of these like almost complete words. Because as I was like V and then the L, I was like literally thinking like that song, you know, that's like L is for the way that you look at me, and then it spells out love, and we had LO. But we don't have an E. It kind of feels like we are missing something. So we have L, and O, and a V. Maybe it feels like there's something missing too. Like it's like almost complete, but like not at the same time. Like there's a lot of vowels missing. Interesting, guys. Even the initials have lots of messages too. There's been lots of messages coming up in this reading. So if you do need to, like, actually, I haven't filmed the intro yet, so I'm probably going to say this in the intro because it helps too. If you feel like you need to kind of save the video for later to come back to it, or if you need to like get some sort of like paper and jot down like the highlights and things like that. I'm telling you this, obviously maybe a little too late, but you can go back if you would like to, and stuff, but because sometimes it can be like, you know, information overload. So feel free to do whatever you need to do in that sense. Okay, so that is the end of that reading. I just want to end this entire reading with a little bit of advice and messages for you. Feel free to stay for this. You don't have to though. It's up to you. But let's see what we have here. So Spirit, what is a message that we can give to pile 1? What do they need to hear right now? What's something that can help them? What is the message here for pile 1? The gallery of those who came before. I'm feeling, you know, with the grandma energy too, even though there's a couple messages coming with this card, but the first things first, I'm feeling very strong ties to ancestral energy with this pile in particular. So feel free to connect with your ancestors if you would like, call on them, and also there could be some ties to I guess the way a word to describe it would be like ancestral curses or ancestral trauma. Now that sounds like so hardcore, so I just want to like elaborate a little bit. Sometimes you can see family patterns in the relationships that we go through, so that could also be like a mirror to show you kind of maybe some sort of like inner work or healing, or when it comes to the decisions or choices that we may make as well. If you see a pattern, that could be connected to that as well, which could also be connected to, you know, your journey in this life, your path in this life too. Another thing too is that sometimes we forget, or like our mind can make us seem like we're alone in this, and that like no one else has gone through, or no one else feels the way that we feel, or has gone through the same sort of situations, the same sort of path or pain that we have. And that is definitely not the truth. You are not alone in this. In fact, this is a collective reading, which should already show you that there's a whole collective here that resonates with a lot of the same things that you do. And so just knowing that or remembering that can also give you strength at the same time to remind you like, hey, there's other people that have gone through it and they've come out alive and way better, and you know, and they've gone through things and they've come out on top too, and you are no different. It also can feel really good to find like-minded people, to find people that can relate to us and relate to our stories, and remember, like, it can help us remember things that are comforting. Like, essentially, you're not alone, like we've been talking about this whole time. I want to get one more card, but I also want to read this from the book too. But it kind of feels like too that there's other people that have gone through things that you can take advice from too, and like learning experiences from too. So it could be like a community that you have, or maybe if you seek out a like-minded community, or it could just be like hearing other people's stories, like random people's stories on the internet, you know what I'm saying, or looking up, or even just coming across things of similarities of people, you know. And like there's a lot of great advice out there on how to deal with certain things, on how to go about certain things. And in this day and age, we kind of do have endless options when it comes to that too. So just find what resonates with you, because you'll know truth by when you hear it, by how you react to it, by how you feel to it. I also feel guided to tell some of you too, if you set the intention, this happens to me all the time. Our bodies can almost act like a natural pendulum. And what I mean by that is that I'll catch myself, like if I'm hearing someone and they are saying some truth that resonates with me to the core, I will literally catch my head like nodding the yes, like up and down and stuff, where I'm like, yup, like it's just my body like reacting to it. And so that's how I know that I'm hearing some straight truth right now. I could have never heard that in my life, right? But it's like my higher self and like my inner spirit coming through to say, yep. You know what I'm saying? So like if you get advice, or you look for advice, or you find information and stuff, you'll know if it's true for you by how it feels to you. gifts from the past at the bottom of the deck. You've also learned a hell of a lot from your past too. This can also be like the pictures here and like the caterpillar looking at the butterflies. Like this could also be like your past transformations as well, and how much you've grown through your own life and through your own experiences. And you can also like different versions of yourself, and you can also look at that too is like motivation or comfort to know that you've gone through a lot of things and you've come out better than ever, you know, each time. Or maybe not better than ever, I don't want to diminish anyone's experiences, but you've come out and you've grown and you've learned and you're wiser now and things like that. And this situation or any experiences that are happening now and from now on are no different to that too. You're always elevating, you're always growing, you're always becoming, you know what I'm saying? And so you're doing a lot better than sometimes it may feel and it may seem. Okay, actually, let's read this and see. Ooh, 44 at the bottom. Now we have your dreams are closer than you think. This makes me think of, well, this also reminds me of the Ace of Cups. And then there's a hand reaching too. Any sort of like emotional fulfillment or things that you've been wanting, things your heart's been wanting, things that you've been desiring. Spirit saying that those things are closer than you think. Sometimes we have to be patient. Sometimes we have to allow things to come. Sometimes we have our own sort of blockages and our own things that we're working through in the meantime, but just trust that those things are possible. The things that you want, whether that's your achievements, the love, the relationship, the things, anything that you kind of feel like you've been wanting. Those dreams are your dreams for a reason. They're not dreams because they're here to make you feel defeated or stupid or like, oh, well, yeah, I want that, but I'll never have it. And like life is laughing at you like, ha, 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 yeah, you're so silly for thinking that way. Absolutely not. Those are your dreams because you're able to have those things. They've been planted in your heart for a reason. They've been planted in your soul for a reason, for them to kind of come out and like it may take, you know, a journey to get there, and that's okay because the journey is necessary, that we've been seeing too with the gifts from the past. In order to receive these things, sometimes we have to learn certain lessons first. That's natural. So I feel like this is kind of just like a reminder almost for you. Okay. Oh, I almost said the garden. The gallery of those who came before. Children imitate the behaviors they see around them. That is our first introduction to human life. It is no surprise that we look to others' lives and work to compare ourselves. It is rooted in survival techniques. However, this could also create fear and potentially self-esteem issues. Others' success will never be yours. The success that they worked for or were given will always serve them differently than it will serve you. Look to those who inspire you as mentors, but not as a template of how you need to achieve your accolades. Have trust in your path and your ability to make the right decisions and actions to bring yourself to your goals. Oh, I like how it's like to your goals. I love that as a last little message as well too. In the beginning, when it talks about children imitate behaviors they see around them, though, the first thing that I was thinking of is like maybe behaviors picked up through childhood and like things that we've kind of learned that maybe don't serve us anymore. Again, that could be rooted in like the ancestral, like generational things that get passed down. You're definitely outgrowing that as well. But I do love the fact that it gives also a reminder too that other people's relationships, other people's things, their outcomes, their achievements, their anything is like so specifically tailored to them that it is kind of hard to compare. You get what I'm saying? And so although we were talking about relating a lot, which is good to relate to. And that message was important too, that you're not alone and there are people like you. It's still not always 100% the same, too. And so people feel differently, they go through different things, they have different pasts and stuff like that. And so I think it's just like another reminder too, that yours is so unique to you. And if you feel like there's no one else there that can compare, or like that you can, I promise you, you're not alone in like in that situation, but also yours may be different for a reason too. And that's beautiful. And that kind of brings a little mystery to it too, to letting it unfold as well. But I am feeling really strongly, I'm not going to lie, guys, the messages in the beginning too. The messages in the beginning about breaking patterns, and like, especially too, if you've like, if this is like relationship patterns and things like that, sometimes the first relationships we have is with our parents, and we see how they are and like what they go through and how they react and stuff like that. And that is something that can get engraved in us quite deeply. So if there were things that maybe weren't the easiest, the best, or if there was like chaos, or even if there's absence and things like that, it kind of creates how we go about our relationships and stuff. And you're at a point where I can tell you're at a point where you're unlearning a lot of things you've probably been for a while now and stuff like that. And so it may just be just, again, a reminder or something to look into as well. But the things that you want are possible. We have your dreams are closer than we think. Laughing and crying also signifies as well the ups and downs of life, the emotions, all of it is a part of, you know, our experiences. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're not feeling good, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. This is something that's natural that we all kind of go through as well too. Not everything is rainbows and sunshines, but the rain, you know, can make the flowers grow in the end. I know that sounds so cliche, but it's true. It's true. All right. So I'm going to leave this reading here. Like I said a couple times, this one was a lot longer than I was expecting, but that's okay. I'm just glad that you guys are still here. The ones that are still here, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you just first and foremost for allowing me to read for you guys. I'm so honored, and I feel so special for being able to be a part of this community that we've built here and are still continuing to build. So just thank you guys for all of the support. Thank you for all of the love. Thank you for the likes on the video. That's something that can show support quite easily. It's just giving each video a little thumbs up, a little like. Thank you to those who comment and share your love, share your experiences, share anything really, all of the things that come to mind. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to those who are subscribed as well. I can't wait to see you guys in the next readings. If you're not subscribed and you don't want to miss out on any new upcoming readings, you can subscribe now if you want to. Also, feel free to check out some of the Timeless Tarot content I already have posted if you would like to as well. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Bye! Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing well. If you chose the textured tarot deck or the ruby and zoisite dagger or sword here, whatever you would like to refer to it as, you found the right place. So today we are asking what's been on their mind when it comes to you. And I'm referring to the person that's on your mind when you come into this reading. So let's go ahead and begin. Oh, there's a really loud, probably large and loud car in the background, if you can hear that. And it's gone. All right. So first things first, I want to set the intention, and I want to invite Spirit here. Spirit, if you could please tune me in to my Pile 2's collective energy and the collective messages for this person on their mind and what's been on this person's mind when it comes to Pile 2. Please and thank you, as always, Spirit. May this reading offer Pile 2 some clarity, some insight, some answers, or anything that they are kind of needing to hear at the time they're coming across this reading when it comes to this person and the connection between them. Please and thank you, Spirit. As always, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so what's on their mind? What's been on their mind? when it comes to you. It doesn't want to shuffle the way I want it to, but it's okay. What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 2, Spirit, this person? I heard ruminating. Ruminating on something. So we have the 6 of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands. And I just remembered when I was shuffling, oh, bottom deck we have Strength. When I was shuffling your channeled message deck that we will be using, there was a card that stood out when I cut it and came out as well too. So usually, and that's my dog in the background, usually twice kind of means some significance, and it's coming to mind right now, which probably means I should tell you. So the card was, how am I supposed to be okay when you've overtaken every thought? So you could be on this person's mind quite a lot, maybe more than they would like to admit, maybe more than they would want in general. That could also be like, we just heard ruminating on something, or you, the situation. Maybe even it can lean to sometimes obsessing over something. You just definitely crossed this person's mind, okay? If you were wondering. Okay, so what's going on in their mind when it comes to pile 2? We have the 7 of Swords along with the King of Swords. Clarifying the 6 of Wands here. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. Clarifying the Ace of Wands. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Clarifying the 7 of Swords. We have the 7 of Wands. And clarifying the King of Swords here. Spirit, why is the King of Swords here? Oh, we have the King of Wands. Okay. We also have the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles popping out. I feel called to talk about these within themselves, and we'll put them back. The 8 of Wands is a lot of energy directed somewhere. This could also, we can see that even with the arrows, right? The arrows have a lot of force behind them and they're shooting forward. The 3 of Wands is the next steps you're wanting to take, or taking steps to either close some sort of distance, to go out and get something. So this kind of makes a lot of sense. We have the 6 of Pentacles here too, though. So it kind of makes me think that this person feels very drawn to you. They want to definitely, if there is distance between you, this could be physical distance, this could be emotional, or just any sort of distance at all. They kind of feel like they want to end that, or at least come closer to you. Another thing is too that you could expect a message from this person, or they could be contemplating sending you a message with this 8 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. The 6 of Pentacles, though, it could also represent, I'm hearing normally this person is, they are a little stubborn in regards to what it is they're willing to give, what it is they're willing to receive. They may not like to put themselves out there too much or give too much. They may, their ego could come into play with that, and they could feel sometimes quite stupid. But when it comes to you, you definitely have them completely trying to disregard that. There is something that still pulls them in that direction, but when it comes to you, they don't think like that too much, or at least they're trying not to think like that. They don't care about that. They feel drawn to you, they feel pulled towards you, and yeah, they could be in the process of putting their pride to the side and addressing something with you, trying to reach out to you. Feels very magnetic. Okay, put that back to bottom of the deck. Oh, look, another king. We have the King of Pentacles. I just thought of something funny. It has nothing to do with your reading. Okay, so we have the 6 of Wands being the first card coming out. We have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles right next to the Ace of Pentacles too. they're trying to see what's going to happen here. They want to see where this is going to go. The Six of Wands is represented is usually a card of victory, a card of success, and a card of achievements. And with the Ace of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, I feel like when it comes to you, they just really, really, really want this situation to work out. And they want it to work out in their favor, which would be working out, I guess. I don't know why I was directed. I felt really called to like say that as well. But they definitely, they want to see you shine, and they want to be on your side, and they want you to think very highly of them as well too. Yeah, I'm hearing again that they just want it to work out really bad. The Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, though, I mean, the Page of Pentacles can be a card of growth. It is a card of development, but also this person is reading here too. So it's a card of learning and studying, just like a lot of the pages are, because the pages are kind of like in that growth type of energy, right? Where you're not fully to the king yet, you're still going, and you still have the steps to take as well. And so with this book and this person reading it with the Ace of Cups, they may be wanting to like study you. They want to learn more about you, or maybe what you need or what you can do in order to make this work, this situation work. I'm hearing again, a lot of this can have to do with them putting their pride to the side, or even some of their needs, or the things that they normally would be like, I need this, blah, blah, blah. I need this person to do this. I need this person to do that. Like, like I would say like expectations from their relationships, from their partners. It kind of feels like it's been switched, and they're almost like, what can I do for you? What do you need me to be? They're trying to learn about this situation and kind of grow from the situation as well. We can see acorns here too, which represents seeds being planted and growth again. And with the Ace of Cups, opening up their heart. This could be a love offer. This could be a new beginning as well. But it's just about the emotional sense and the aspects of it and where they feel led. Actually, that brings me to, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Wands. And I was thinking with this sword, it almost reminded me of the Ace of Swords too. So if you want to count that, we would have all of the aces. If you do want to count that, if you don't, it's okay. But we would have all of the aces there here, which makes me think of a hell of a lot of potential. Starting something, seeing where it goes. Like the Ace of Wands is that initial spark, that initial inspiration. The Ace of Pentacles is that opportunity. Also the physical sense of it, taking an opportunity, or it could also be a gift as well, depending on how you look at it, and making something of it. We saw the acorns being the seeds. That's very much correlating like the Ace of Pentacles here too, which makes me think that this person sees you as somebody who has a lot to offer, and they feel like they want to offer you some things as well. They want to get the ball rolling. They want to see where this goes, see what's going to happen. This is something that they also see themselves being able to want to put in effort towards as well. Again, the Ace of Wands, I want to say, since we're going to talk about that, there is an attraction they feel with you. When you are on their mind, they definitely light up. It lights up. Like they're like pile two is, makes me feel things. That could be sexual too. It could be just like energized as well. I'm kind of getting like, they kind of feel like a rush of energy. I almost wanted to say a rush of blood if they are male. And you know what that means too. So hey, take it as it resonates. I love that either way, because you get them going. And with the Ace of Pentacles, they're like, okay, I feel this energetically. How can we make something happen in the physical? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they reached out with an offer, or wanting to go on a date, or just wanting to tell you something, you know, or see you or something like that. I can definitely see that happening, but you've definitely inspired them to want to be better too, to want to be more successful, to want to have more, with the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, to want to do more. It feels really like inspirational. in this half, because when we go to this half, we can see something a little different too. We can see where, like, this half is like all the good, the stuff that we've just been talking about. But then, just like, you know, most people and most situations, sometimes it can be met with some resistance, right? We all have our own inner challenges and our things to work through. So another thing with this, if this person isn't acting on this as much as they feel like it, as much as they feel like they have that passion and all, and they want to develop in all of the things we've been talking about, it's because there is a little bit of trust issues here with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. This person still wants to be able to protect themselves, though. If they feel as though if they were to go all in and all at once, not necessarily that it would be too much, but they may end up getting really hurt from this. They are still in this watching energy. They are still in this analyzing energy with the King of Swords here versus the King of Wands. It kind of makes me think of the fact that the King of Wands is here with the King of Swords, is that they may be sometimes hesitant to act on this passion because they want to think, they want to analyze, they want to see, they want to know. You know what I'm saying? They're in their head a lot about it too, whereas the King of Wands is like, I'm going to take control, I'm going to act on my passions and be the leader and do this. The King of Swords is a bit more careful. The King of Swords has all eyes open, so to speak, right? And we can see there's birds on this person's shoulder. There's the owl that represents the intuition, and I think that this is a hawk, if I'm not mistaken, that can represent a higher perspective. We have the windmill in the back too, which is like using the mind as a tool, right? And so with that being said, it kind of feels like these do conflict, though, if I'm being honest. They just want to be really careful when it comes to you, really, really careful, because the passion that they have for you and the way that you kind of make them feel, and this sparks and all of this potential and all of these things, sometimes this person questions, this is too good to be true. So there is this sense of overthinking, maybe even head versus heart here too. And with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands, there's this energy of be very careful, have your guard up a little bit. Before we just rush and go all in. Okay. Let's get a couple oracle decks to elaborate any further. Any other messages, Spirit, on what's happening in this person's mind when it comes to pile 2, what's been on their mind? I definitely think that I just heard the receiving end. So maybe they've been on the receiving end of something that they're used to giving. The tables have turned, so to speak. And this could also be like their past relationships. Like, it feels like there's something here that's very different. They're feeling very different. It's happening differently. They're like, I'm not used to it being like this. I know that probably sounds very vague, but okay, so what's on their mind? What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 2? Get out here. Ooh, we have 8 with power. That is the strength card as well. And I think we did see the strength card, if I'm not mistaken. We have conflict and defeat at the bottom. And underneath that, we have mental conflict and solitude. I'm going to grab one more deck and then we'll talk about it. What's been on their mind? They're trying to be really strong when it comes to you. And I can see that I feel like this strength and this energy can come off a certain way to you. And it's kind of hiding some of the things that they've been thinking about, or some of the challenges or worries and things like that. Like, they like to come off as very strong and brave, and maybe even like very secure within themselves. But this kind of shows when it comes to the mental aspects, there are things, and I think that like we even have like this person tripping and falling. Oh, look, and there's the light though. It's like, this is the passion, the light, you can see. And then they're following it, but they're worried if they're gonna like fall on their face, because they're kind of like falling down the stairs. Everyone in this one where it's like, seems like hieroglyphs or the writing on the walls. Oh, that could be like the writing on the walls that they may be like scared to like avoid, but they're going this way, they're going up, and then this person is falling down, but they're still following this light, they're still following this passion. And then with the mental conflict here, this is the Two of Swords. This is the overthinking, the overanalyzing. Ooh, and that's the King of Swords here with the King of Wands, right? They're kind of they may overthink themselves into problems that aren't really necessarily there. It stops them from acting on the things that they want to act on. And I'm hearing the song, which actually, this song I particularly remember coming up in a past reading, because it's a Tool song, and I don't know, it just must hold some significance for me to remember it, because this is the first reading I've done in a while. So anyways, the song goes, overthinking, overanalyzing separates the body from the mind, withering my intuition. What is this song called now? Okay, so I can remember it, obviously I can remember it lyric for lyric, but I can't remember the name of the song right now. Figures, right? Lateralis, I think is what it's called. So feel free to look it up. Lateralis by Tool, and you can look up the lyrics as well. It's a good song. Also, it talks about spiraling in the song as well, and the notes that the guitar player is playing are the Fibonacci sequence as well. So if you guys know about the Fibonacci sequence, it's the pattern that we see in nature all of the time. It shows up all the time, and it's also referred to, or I don't know if it's the same thing as the golden ratio, or they're correlated somehow, so forgive me, but they're correlated somehow, and the golden ratio is used in a lot of architecture and things like that. But yeah, it's the same sequence that shows up in nature over and over and over again. It's kind of just like, you know, the universe speaking to us, and in many different ways as well. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting into this, but yeah, the song talks about cycles though, and like pushing the envelope, and keep on going, spiraling out, things like that. So, you know, on that note, the correlation to this makes me think of, sometimes we stay in our comfort zone, and that song kind of has a message of like pushing through that, creating your own, you know, destiny type of thing. And so this could be something that this person is kind of dealing with right now, putting those fears, worries, and all of that conflict to the side, and acting on your intuition, acting on your passions, seeing where it goes, seeing what happens. This could be something that this person may naturally end up doing as well. It could just be a part of their process, depending on the situation too. It could take some strength. I feel like the Power and the Strength card is also coming out to say that, you know, this person wants to be strong when it comes to you and when it comes to this situation, and not allow the other things to kind of make this person crumble or hold them back, so to speak. And I think that you have been challenging this person to grow, to be better, and to do better. I do feel like you've had quite a positive impact on this person, even if you and this person are even this is like a new connection for some of you, or maybe you feel like you haven't had such an impact on this. You definitely have had an impact on this person. Okay. One more card, Spirit, on what's on their mind. What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 2. I did see resources, the second house with the King of Pentacles too. They may be like focused on getting their money up, or just been working or wanting to like have things to offer. Like you could have influenced that as well. They could want to impress you in that sort of sense. Or maybe you just give them a little bit of motivation. Ooh, we have the 9th house. We have the exploration. I just heard I'm learning a hell of a lot. I'm learning about myself. The 9th house can also represent like foreign lands too. So maybe this is confirmation for some of you if this is a long distance relationship, but it doesn't have to be. The 9th house can represent a lot of different things. One of the things coming to mind is their spirituality. With it being exploration too, it makes me think of getting out of their comfort zone. The 9th house is directly across from the 3rd house. And the 3rd house is like learning and knowledge and things like that. But the 3rd house can represent our immediate surroundings, like our neighborhood, our schools, and things like that. Whereas the 9th house is when you're kind of branching out of that and exploring bigger lands, bigger territories. So it kind of makes me think of this person's like getting out of that comfort zone. For some reason, the thing that's coming to mind is like the reference of big fish, small pond. And then when the big fish goes to the big pond, they don't feel so big anymore, you know? That kind of thing. Also, I'm hearing testing the waters. But this also makes me think of, I just want to say too, the exploring and like all of this is like just seeing what has to come here between you and them. Wanting to go deeper, wanting to go further. There's so much more to be seen. There's so much more to have. Maybe even opening and broadening this person's own perspective on relationships, on love, on what they can have. Like there's a lot of learning going on here as well too. I think that you've opened this person's mind, or they're starting to open their mind to new possibilities, whereas maybe the old version of them would just see their own perspective as the truth, and that's it, you know. And they're actually questioning things. They're stepping out of that comfort zone. They want to explore. They want to believe that there's more out there than just what they've ever known, even if that's just in regards to how this relationship will turn out. Oh, what the heck? I swear I did not see this. We have 3rd house communication. We were just talking about, and then we have the 7th house with relationships. Underneath that, we have Pisces. Pisces could be significant. That is so funny. The whole time I'm like holding this deck and we were talking about the 3rd house and it was literally right there. That's so funny. But yeah, I would say communication as well. There is something that they would like to communicate with you. And with the 7th house, they see you as relationship material. So let's move on to the channeled messages now. Spirit, what has been on this person's mind when it comes to pile 2? Let's run away and elope together. Interesting. Maybe this person thinks of you as like a little escape too. Like you're, in their mind, you're an escape from reality. You're an escape from the mundane. You know, the same old routine, the same old boring things. You're exciting. You're something that's different. Oh, my dog is literally like right here. If the camera was just like a little bit further, you'd be able to see him. That's pretty funny. He's like, it's actually his food time, and he's like making sure that I know and I remember. But I promise after this reading I will feed him. He's like, yeah, you better. Okay. So we have Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So Earth sign can be significant. It could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Or there could just be something about the physicality of this relationship. I was getting that message before too, of like just wanting to ground it. If it's like in the air, or if it's just in the mind, or maybe there's just communication between you and them. They want to make it more physical. They want to see you. They want to be near you. They want to, even for some of you, I've been getting this message too of like they want to provide something for you, provide something of substance for you, or just I want to ground it into the physical is what I keep hearing. We have, you can see right through me and I hate it. And I need time. This person may feel like they need time to get some stuff together. Could be like they to get themselves together. Maybe this is a call for like this person like asking for patience a bit. So specifically if they're coming out to tell you something, specifically if there's something that they've been wanting to address with you, it kind of feels like they're going through their own process, and in time, you know, you will see what it's gonna be, or you will know the answers, especially if you do have a lot of questions coming from this person as well. So it's kind of like maybe they're just like, I need time to get situated, to get some stuff together, and to like they may not want to be rushed as well. And this one, you can see right through me and I hate it. I definitely feel like you can call them on their bullshit, or like you can say something, like they'll like they could tell you something, like as an example, they can be like, well, I don't want to do that because this. And then you'd be like, no, you want to do that because this reason. And it's true. And they're like, how dare you call me out on my bullshit? How dare you see exactly what I mean and not take my other like innuendos or my other excuses as truth. Okay, let's get one more from this deck. I think you deserve better than me, and that makes me act crazy. Another thing is I don't have time. You know what's interesting is that they could be avoiding certain things or showing certain parts of themselves due to fear of rejection, or like maybe you actually seeing parts of themselves and thinking, oh, I deserve better, or you want better and stuff like that. Like there is a little fear surrounding that, but like I want to say the correlation with I don't have time and I need time makes me feel like this person has a little bit of pressure building up inside of them. Like they're like, I need time, but I don't have it, if that makes sense. And another thing too is that there could be sometimes they have a little bit of an avoidant tendency too, of like, I think you deserve better. They have like their own insecurities and these kind of feelings, and then so they may actually slip into a bit of an avoidance tendency where they kind of grow a little distant, or you don't hear from them, or like you feel like they may pull away and things like that. That's kind of, I think, due to them being triggered a bit as well, if that is the case for you. Oh, this King of Wands keeps trying to come out. Oh, here it is at the bottom of the deck again. How am I supposed to be okay when you've overtaken every thought? I was wondering if that one was going to come out, if it was going to peek through, and it definitely did. So again, you are on this person's mind. We're going to get a couple of these, and then we're going to get the confirmation here for you. I'm not good at the emotional stuff. Yeah. That does kind of show as well, I think, too. Ooh, we have I'm head over heels for you. Or it feels like with the emotional stuff can be a bit tough for this person. We have I want you to make the first move. Bottom of the deck, we have let's make up. Oh, look, and then underneath here we have, I don't know if I can trust what you say. We were seeing that trust issues come out with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. They're like being very careful, trying to play their cards very close. And there's a lot of like watching you energy, analyzing, studying you energy as well. They may be trying just to be very careful when it comes to you. Okay, so let's get some confirmation. Zodiac signs, did we have any like particular ones so far? I don't think there was anything that stood out completely. Okay, so Spirit, what are some significant zodiac signs for my pile 2? We have Aries. Okay. Aries is also the month of April and the end of March. That could be significant. We have Gemini. So we have the month of June and the end of May. And Libra. We have October and the end of September. Why do I feel called to get one more? Let's get one more for you. And Leo. So August and the end of July. Okay, and if you don't see their zodiac sign or their initial and this reading resonated, don't worry, it's just meant to be a little bit of confirmation for some. It doesn't mean that you have to throw the whole thing out. Just trust your discernment, trust your intuition. You'll know if it's for you. Okay, so we have a C, a J, CJ, that could be significant too. We also have an F, an M. It looks like we have 2 M's. Ooh, FM right next to each other too. It makes me think of like the radio, like FM, AM, like certain frequencies. So we have 2 M's. We have an R. We also have an X. Makes me think of like medicine and also retrograde too. So if there are any planets in retrograde, I'm hearing Mercury retrograde. That's not in, is it happening as I'm, honestly, I can't even remember right now. I think it is, or we're in the shadow. Yeah, either it is or we're in the shadow. I just can't think. My brain doesn't work properly when I'm like so like into a reading and channeling. I swear, when I have to think about like everyday stuff right after, it's like I was born yesterday. I swear to God. I don't know what the deal is with that. But I was thinking of Mercury retrograde because maybe like issues with communication. Maybe this person has certain issues when it comes to communicating as well. So we have a D, an I, and a P. Like dip. We just spelled dip for some reason. Okay, I don't know why I heard this. This may be something that they think of themselves, because I don't think they would call you this, but I heard dipshit. We have a K. And then I also hear like, when I dip, you dip, we dip, that song. And that could be like, when I dip, you dip, we dip. Like, when I see you do something, when you see me do something, we kind of do it together. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gives, like, with this, I want you to make the first move in that. It makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you dip, I'll dip. You make the first move, I'll do it too. Like, I've been waiting. We have a K. And we also have an E. For some reason, I'm seeing mime, M-I-M-E. I don't know if that's how you spell mime. I'm assuming it is, but I could be wrong too. Like that's like someone that's silent. Dime. You're a dime piece. Okay. Well, that is that portion. Now we're going to move on to your advice, or just a message for you, I guess is what I want to call it. Like I said, if you didn't see anything that correlates, then no worries. If you're still here, there's most likely messages that you were meant to hear regardless. Sometimes, you know, Spirit won't give us something so easily too, because Spirit wants us to use our discernment. That happens to me all the time. Sometimes when I'll ask for like certain signs, and like if I get a certain sign, you know, and if I don't take it, or if I'm like I need more, sometimes Spirit like will kind of make that into like a, well, it's up to you. Like that's kind of what I get to it. Like Spirit's like, you hold a lot more power than sometimes you realize, and you can decide what's best for you. You can know what's for you, and you can know what's not for you. Okay, let me grab this deck. Says Spirit, oh, you're late. Oh, we were just seeing that with that card, were we not? Kind of reminds me of this. This makes me think too that sometimes you may not even realize like how you affect other people. Like, and especially it being your light and this candle, like you probably have been such a light to this person, or you have lit something up in this person, and maybe you sometimes diminish that within yourself, or you don't see that within yourself. And Spirit's like, no, you do have an effect on the people around you. You are important to the people around you, and you're definitely needed in ways that maybe you don't even necessarily understand. But sometimes you need to be your own hype man, and sometimes you need to remind yourself that you are important and you deserve to be appreciated, and you are special in someone's light. I mean, in someone's life, and you can be the light in their life as well. Even if the physical isn't like directly portraying that to you, it comes from within. Like, you do have a hell of a lot to offer, and you are somebody that is infectious and can uplift the people around you. And it's important that you know that, because that is correlated to your value. You have a lot of value. Okay. What is the message here for pile 2? Or I guess another message since we already started. Cast your sacred symbols. This is very similar to that message of like you leaving your mark on anything that you touch. I'm hearing you have like, what's that saying? Like a specific like je ne sais quoi to you that is very special. And you underestimate it too. And it's time for you to go about things remembering that you are very important and infectious and necessary. And that your energy is infectious, but also your energy is missed when it's not around too. And I'm hearing you kind of doubt this a lot too. And Spirit's saying that you get to decide that. It's also your mind, and it's your beliefs, and it's your life. And if you want to decide that you're important to anyone or to anything or to this world, you decide. You don't have to let other people decide that for you. Like, it's your choice. Sometimes we forget that we decide what we are, who we are, how we are, all of these things. And even if somebody doesn't realize it right then and there, that doesn't make it not true. Even if somebody doesn't act on it, that doesn't make it not true. Even if somebody has their own issues. Because I'm hearing that there's a lot of projections going on between you and this person. And with that being said, none of it is really personal to each other's worth and value. At least yours, because we're talking about you. I mean, it's not about their worth and value too, because in their own way they are worthy and they have value and things like that, even if they don't see that within themselves either or believe it. Bottom of the deck, we have someone soon. Labyrinth. Let's get one more card, but I want to read this one. I feel like there's like another message with here of just like going forth and being fierce in like anything that you do, remembering like who you are and that you have such a powerful influence and that you do things amazingly. Something that is never truly yours. Ooh, bottom of the deck, we have ripe fruit with the number 33. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves too that no one truly belongs to us except for us. And I know that sometimes that's hard to hear, especially when you're in a relationship. You can feel very possessive over the person, and that can be okay in small amounts and stuff like that. And of course, like, you know, it's the kind of the thing is like, it's normal to get jealous, and like a little bit of jealousy is okay. Sometimes some people would even say it's just a little bit of jealousy is healthy if you do it healthily, or you communicate it, and you know, and stuff like that, and you have a receptive partner that is, you know what I'm saying, like it just depends, I guess, on like the person and how they go about relationships and what they want to, because it can be unique to the individual. But when we release the attachment of it has to be this, it has to be that, or they have to do it this way, or like, you know, kind of control over the other person, it allows us to live with more ease. It's almost like surrendering, allowing things to unfold, knowing that in this physical world, you leave at the end of it all. You can't take anything with you except for the experience, you know, your soul's experience and stuff. And the universe being interconnected, intertwined with everything, and interlinked with everything. The actual separation is just an illusion. So when everything's said and done, it's not what it seems. There is no real separation. I know I'm getting very deep on the spiritual aspect, so if I'm losing you, I'm sorry, but hopefully most of you are following along. Basically, this is just an experience, and it's meant to be experienced. And everything, specifically with the ripe fruit, everything has a cycle. Everything lives. There's a birth and there's a death. And I don't mean to get morbid and talk about, you know, you dying, but there's also cycles of that too. You know, everything grows and then it rots. You know, I like referring to fruits, nature, our bodies, our vessels, and things like that. So as depressing sometimes as impermanence may seem, it can be very freeing to the soul to allow things to work in their natural processes. And it's not a form of punishment. It's just the laws of this world and nature and how things happen and stuff. And so at the end of the day, you do always have you, though. Oh, my stomach just made a really weird noise. I hope that didn't catch on the camera. At the end of the day, you still have you to fall back to come back on. There's always you time. There's always pile 2 time, you know, to come back to and to be. And if that doesn't feel right, then I would look into that a little bit, because you can have that as a source of comfort. And that's something that you'll feel eventually, or that's something that has to kind of be understood, of that you have that home to come home to, and you have that trust in the universe, and you have that understanding of how it works, and like, you know, and that maybe if you're releasing something, or if something's not working out, you know, there's something better with the ripe fruit. That means that things fall, they decay, the fruit falls, and then it grows again, you know. And with this process, you can kind of let go of your own sense of control and just trust a little bit and allow it to unfold and allow it to work in the way that it's meant to for you and in your life. But that takes that sort of understanding and stuff. And if you're not there yet, or some of you may be there, but maybe you find this situation just a bit more challenging, and that's okay too, because that is a part of your process and you are going through it. And this is kind of, my dog's getting more antsy too. It's kind of Just a reminder here that, like it says, something that is never truly yours, it falls. Like, just like with the money too, you get the money, you see the coins in their hands, you get your money, you need to spend it on something, or you want to spend it on something, it's not truly yours, it goes into someone else's hands, and vice versa, and it cycles around and stuff. It's okay to let go is what I'm hearing. And it doesn't have to be like the end. It's just, it's like a switch. I'm hearing and feeling like it's a switch internal, like turning on the switch of like letting go and just giving you a break in that sort of sense, whether that's emotionally or physically. Anyways, I want to read this one before I let you guys go for sure. Let's see. Cast your sacred symbol. Time to make your mark, sugar. What you do brings power to others, so put it out there. What you make and release has a whole other life once it reaches the hands of others. Those hands will go on to cast their own sacred symbol as well, and the influence of your work may have just the tiniest chain reaction in their work. Confidence in what you do brings power to us all. That is so beautiful, because we were talking about your influence in like your importance, and like it is infectious, and it kind of shows here with the hands too. Like, even if someone fumbles you, they take the value. You still leave with them an imprint in value that they didn't have before, or wisdom that they didn't have before, or insights, or just getting the opportunity to know you. And that is so beautiful. And I think that this all kind of comes with just a very important need to appreciate yourself and who you are and what you have to offer. Yeah. And just like anything else, like we were talking about the cycles, the ripe fruits, you know, it will come a time again, but you have to eat the fruits too, or you have to do something with them, or else they will rot and stuff. And then it's just like a reminder too that the universe works in abundance, and it also works in cycles. And so when one cycle ends, another one will begin. You don't have to worry too much about that. Oh, I just heard something about your charm. Your charm and charisma is something that is really infectious and really beautiful. You could be charming. Oh, I love that this is kind of just like a hype you up type of section, type of message too. Yeah, Spirit just wants you to see the value in yourself and what you do have to offer. Or just to remind you of it at least. But I am going to leave this message here. My dog is going a little crazy behind me. He's like, let's go, chop chop, I am hungry. So I apologize to him. I'll give him lots of love and kisses and lots of food, and maybe a little treat too, because he's so patient. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for your patience and allowing me to read for you and listening. And thank you to all the love you guys share, the likes, the comments, the subscribers, and all of that. It's so important to me, and it helps out the channel so much. So thank you so much. I love the community that we've built and are still continuing to build. And I just can't wait to see you guys in the next reading now that this one's over, or the next pile. So hopefully I will see you guys there. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the 3 Trees Tarot deck or the Smoky Quartz Tower, you're at the right place. So today we are looking at the person on your mind, and we are asking what's been on their mind lately when it comes to you. So this is a timeless reading also. Whenever it finds you is when it's meant for you. It doesn't matter about the date that it's posted. I hope you guys are comfortable and relaxed, because we're just going to hop right in. If you're new here, I usually do like to set the intention and invite spirit in first while we shuffle, and then we will get straight to it. So Spirit, if you could please tune me into my pile 3's collective energy. If you can please show me in pile 3 with the most clarity what's been on this person's mind. Can we please show pile 3 anything else that they are needing to know, see, or hear about this person? May this reading offer them the clarity that they are seeking, any answers that they are needing, or just any information that they're needing to hear at this time. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So what's been on this person's mind when it comes to you, pile 3? What's been on this person's mind, Spirit? We have the Ace of Swords. What's been on this person's mind? We have the Possibilities card. I'm really drawn to this dragon right here, too. We have the Three of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles. Oh, this is tough energy already. Clarifying the Ace of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. It's funny because I just heard a specific channeled message that we have in one of the channeled message decks. And it states, I wanted to reach out, but I kept stopping myself. Clarifying the possibilities, what's been on this person's mind. We have the Tower. Clarifying the Three of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands. And clarifying the Five of Pentacles. Oh, we have the King of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the World. Oh, that's so cute because so a lot of the times too, when the World comes out, it can be like this person like wanting to give you the world, or a lot of the times it's like seeing the world with you, specifically in love readings, although the World definitely has its own meanings and things like that. Not to say that that never comes up either, but the image of this deer quite literally like holding the world, and it looks like it's giving the world to this little deer. And with this Five of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, this person may want to have more to offer you. There's something here about this person struggling right now with themselves. They could be kind of feeling a little insecure when it comes to this situation or this connection. Maybe they're feeling a little insecure about the state of your connection, depending on what's happening with you. But yeah, the Ace of Swords and the Two of Wands, this person does want to reach out to you. They do want to say something, but I feel like they do hold back for their own reasons. Now, the Ace of Swords being the card of truth, it could be like a lot of the times it could be like a breakthrough in communication, like a direct message and things like that. With the Two of Wands, it's like they're kind of been planning this. They've been thinking about it. They've been wondering if they should do that. They're wondering like if that's the right choice to make. For some of you, they're wondering if they're blocked or maybe even still blocked. And they're like, will my message even go through? Depending on your current circumstances. So this is a general reading, so you're just going to take what resonates for you, as always, guys. Another thing too, for maybe another group or collective that's here, if you are in communication with this person and like say you're still talking to them and so you're like, what the heck, it would be like they have things that they want to say that they don't, but they're thinking about it, like a specific conversation. It could be about certain triggers as well. Something that's really bothering them, something that's kind of been eating away at them that they want to address, but they don't really know if they should, for some of you. But we're going to move on to the rest of you as well. So the Possibilities card is really interesting. I was really drawn to this dragon, and sometimes dragons can represent like our own personal power as well. And it's kind of wrapped around kind of protecting these animals here. And so it kind of makes me think that specifically with the Tower too, their outlook is not so good on this connection and on you right now. Like, I think at like one point in time, they were thinking like the possibilities with this situation were endless. But the Tower coming through could represent something between you and them kind of falling apart. It could represent some sort of, like, in their mind, disaster striking, something happening that where it kind of limits their perspective and limits the possibilities of this situation. But when it comes to how they're feeling about you, the Three of Swords being the next card, there's a lot of sadness. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're here and maybe you and this person are going through a separation, or maybe just the energy's been really tough. You guys have been working through really tough energies, triggers and things like that. Maybe there was something that had happened that caused you and this person to have to separate, break up. I know I kind of just said that. But with the Three of Swords, it means that they're definitely feeling it. They're definitely hurting on the insides. And with the Knight of Wands, I think that there's a lot of passion in their heart for you. But there's also a hell of a lot of sadness at this current time. It kind of feels like there's some sort of blockages happening within this person. I just heard I want you back. So that could be a message as well for some of you. I also feel a bit scatterbrained too. Like I feel like as I'm channeling this energy, I want to kind of like take some space. Like I'm really feeling like I want to like sit down, take a deep breath, and sit with this and really kind of figure out what's going on inside, because this energy right here is giving like inner chaos, inner storms, lots of energy moving in really quickly. And it's almost like this person is not necessarily sitting with it right now and trying to understand it. They may be trying to avoid it a bit if it is quite intense to them. But I kind of feel like it's like an inner storm. The Tower can represent inner chaos as well. And it kind of just feels like it's hard to understand exactly because there's so much going on right now inside this person. Like there's the desire, there's questions. It almost feels like kind of up in the air. This person is almost like, should I do something? Should I not? And they're kind of wanting to just relieve this pain or relieve this uncertainty that they're going through right now. So the Five of Pentacles can also represent us feeling like we're lacking something really important, almost to the point where it kind of affects our self-esteem sometimes, and it can affect us to like the core. So interesting enough that the King of Pentacles is clarifying it, because the King of Pentacles is fully abundant, right? This is the master of the Pentacles, whereas the Five of Pentacles is like a loss. And so it feels like they don't have what they want right now, and they're kind of struggling. And this could be coming and hitting them at all different sides. Like this person could definitely be going through like financial issues. Maybe they're fallen on tough times. And so even when it comes to you, that may be affecting their actions. Like they may be like, it's not the right time right now because I'm not in the right place, because I don't feel like I have enough, and I don't feel like I have what it takes. And so they're kind of struggling with their sense of image and their identity right now. They're going through, it's very deep and it's very to the core. And I feel like that's also why it's hard to understand for this person, because it's not just surface level. There's something that they're working through that is very deep, probably rooted, I would even say maybe in childhood. And they're probably learning a lot of tough lessons. But when it comes to you, they're like, I just want to give you the world, and I want to be that person that you need. Actually, underneath that, we have the Emperor as well. And they're like, I want to be that strong, stable person that you need and that you're able to rely on. But they feel like they can't even really be that for themselves right now. And there's so much that I feel like this person wishes they could say to you, or like wishes wishes that you could understand about them, because I feel like there's almost a mask here coming through with this person. Like their intentions and the way that they are, maybe the way that they come off, is very misunderstood. And it's because there's something here that they're not showing you in regards to whether that's their true feelings or their inner self. Maybe because they're afraid here, or because they could be feeling quite sensitive. This person seems to be a little wounded already, and so they're going to do what they have to do to try to protect themselves. There's possibilities with this protection here and the Tower card coming through, like they could be wanting to protect themselves from any further disaster or anything that they may be dreading to have to face. But all in all, it starts off with them wanting to tell you, wanting to talk to you, wanting to speak to you. And you can even see here in this card, the Two of Wands here, they have that idea. They're kind of pondering it. They're like looking out and they're pondering it. Should I? Is that the right thing to do? We're going to get some oracle cards, but I really want to get the channeled messages for you first, which is interesting because we haven't done that in any other pile. I usually like to stick to the order, but I'm really drawn to get to the channeled messages. We might not even do the oracle cards depending on how it feels. I feel like this is one of those go with the flow types of readings where we kind of throw the structure out the door and we do it intuitively. Okay, so Spirit, what are some channeled messages from this person to my pile 3? Let's make up. Bottom of the deck, if I don't deserve you. I was going to say that there were some feelings of like unworthiness here with this 5 of Pentacles and this 3 of Swords. It feels very tough and it feels very tight around my sacral and around my heart chakra. Usually, I'm sorry, not my sacral, my solar plexus and my heart chakra. So the two right there, the yellow and the green. Usually when it's tight, it's being restricted and it's usually caused by fear a lot of the time. So, oh, I just heard from Spirit too, this fear could be hitting in all different angles. And what that means is like, it could be fear of loss, fear of vulnerability, fear of taking even the desired action. You get what I'm saying? Because I do feel like with this Knight of Wands, there is a desire to have some sort of movement here with you, to take some action, to act on the passion, to do what they feel. But the 3 of Swords can be coming as a blockage at this time here too. And I've noticed as well, we have a couple cards where it's sunny, but a lot of the energy in these cards seems very stormy, very rainy, very cloudy. It almost feels like this person wants to be this King of Pentacles type of energy. They kind of want to get back up on their feet. Have more stability, whether that could be straight financial or it could be like emotional too. It could be just, or just being a stable figure or a stable person in your life. I just heard it sucks. Okay. Sorry, let's get back to the channeled messages. Spirit, what are some channeled messages from this person about what's been on their mind when it comes to my pile 3 here? What has been on their mind? I kind of feel like just picking them instead of letting them fall out. That could also be a sign too. Taking some sort of action, kind of taking charge in this situation. I'm not doing well without you. Yeah, we can see. And I don't even mean that sarcastically. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, we can tell. I mean that like with a bunch of empathy. Like, I'm like, yeah, we can see it and I can feel it. It's portrayed in these cards as well. How is this person feeling? Or, oh, I'm sorry. I do a lot of feelings readings, but what's been on their mind? But, you know, they go hand in hand. I think the last reading I did was their thoughts and feelings, so I'm just used to saying that, to be honest. What's been on their mind when it comes to pile 3? I just heard I'm doomed. So we have Ooh, we have, I try to show off around you. This makes me think of that message with that mask. I try to portray myself as someone that I'm not sometimes because I don't want you to see the truth, or I don't want you to see the flaws. I don't want you to see the insecurities. I don't want you to see all of the things that I try to hide, not only from you, but from myself. Okay. And then we have the thought of you with someone else drives me crazy. I feel very much emphasis on that. This person may feel very jealous or very possessive of you. I want to get one more from this deck, and then I have another channel message deck too that we're going to use. Oh yeah, this is the message too. I'm broke right now and I'm insecure about it. So this is confirmation that those messages about this person not having enough, or maybe like just falling on hard times, or not being in the position that they would like to be, it is affecting their actions and how they feel about themselves, which in turn is affecting, like, you know, what they're doing about this connection. They just may feel like they're not right. They're not in the right place. Almost like necessarily to be deserving of this connection, or to be deserving of you. And it kind of, not to say that's true, because, you know, we're always worthy of the things that we want, to our core, right? But it kind of feels like the way this person views you, they may not feel up to par. They may not feel like it's kind of just like, if they're not feeling good about themselves and their life, it's really going to affect how they act with you. And I do think that this person tries really hard not to show that. It's almost like not to show any weakness, or not to let it be seen by you. But they actually do really struggle with things like that. And I'm hearing that they actually do really care about how you see them and how you feel about them. Bottom of the deck, we have tell me you love me. Okay. Let's get this other channel message deck and see if there's anything else. We'll probably just get a few from this one. What's going on in this person's mind when it comes to pile 3, Spirit? What's been on their mind? Ooh, I want you. There's some passion with that too. Like, there's some like spicy, fiery energy under that. Oh, that makes me think of your channeled song. Your channeled song is very much like I want you type of energy. Feel free to check it out in the description box. I got it yesterday. Let me see if it comes to me. It's literally called I Want to Be Yours. Okay. That makes sense now too. Yeah, it's literally called I Want to Be Yours. Feel free to check it out. I post the channel songs in the description box if you guys don't know. And I post the YouTube videos, mostly the lyric videos, so you can see that as well. So after this reading, feel free to check it out if you want. But there definitely is an attraction here to you. We have, I want to take this to the next level. Oh, look. I'm insecure about the state of our relationship. That was like a legit channeled message too. And that's what, that was so weird. I was like, I'm getting a message that is like from this deck. I don't think that's the one I said, but I remember saying that. Bottom of the deck, we have you weren't loyal. That could be a concern about this person too. Now we have at the bottom of the deck, your silence is the loudest sound of all. So yeah, what's been on this mind is just what they want to do with you. Like their desire here, kind of working through. I feel like this person's been working through their own issues. And I feel like this connection has been a mirror to them of like what they feel truly about themselves, what they feel worthy for, what they feel like they need to do in their life, what they want out of this and out of life. It just feels like, I just heard they're struggling too with this. Okay. Well, we didn't do... Right when I cut the deck, we have obstacles and challenges. which is very like on par for this. And then we have solitude too. This person could be, I am getting like 12th house energy. For some reason, and that could just be that solitude message. This is technically the Hermit card, but like this person could be spending a lot of time alone right now, or they could be like purposely isolating themselves. Also, I'm hearing that could be an avoidant sort of tendency too. If they tend to kind of isolate, retract, and go and be by themselves, that's something that they're kind of a behavior that they've learned that it means safety. What's been on this person's mind? I'm going to do what I did. I have 2 decks that I want to use, and so to save time, we're just going to... What's been on this person's mind? We're just going to get the last couple messages before we get the confirmation. Oh, solar plexus. We were talking about the solar plexus too, and here it is coming up. Oops, that's not the right deck. Oh, 12th house and Pluto. Oof. That's like transformative energy. Transformative of like the mind, how you think too. We have descendant and we have 11th house, community. 11th house came up in another reading too. You know, that's so funny though, is because I feel like the descendant, the invitation, it kind of makes me feel like with this, they're reaching out for connection. The 11th house with community is like, could be like our friends, our people, like the people that we connect with and things like that. Although it has a bunch of other stuff too, but I'm really drawn to the hands too. And so even though this person may lean more into like isolating tendencies, there's something still that they're reaching out for, to have some sort of connection, to have some sort of community as well. Another thing about the 11th house is that can be where our hopes and dreams are, and our wishes and things like that, and the things that we see for not only for ourselves but for a collective and stuff. And so Aquarius could be significant as well. Yeah, I do feel like this person just they do want some sort of connection at this time. This invitation makes me think too that there could be again like some sort of message or some sort of like pull or inkling to like address something with you. And the 7th house, if your ascendant's in the 1st house, the descendant's in the 7th house, that is about our relationships, our connections and things like that. They could be asking friends about you too with this 11th house energy. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what this one is. Look, Mercury messages. I keep getting that message. Ooh. Okay. This kind of makes sense all together now. The trapped in fear is the 8 of Swords. This is them like wanting to like reach out, wanting to kind of set some sort of tone or at least address something with you. And again, their mental health right now is deeply affecting that. They are going through some sort of like mental health. We saw Pluto in the 12th house. That can have a lot to do with a detriment in like maybe mental health too. I'm not saying if you have Pluto in the 12th house that's like something for you. It's more along the lines of just the messages of the cards, you know. But the trapped in fear is like them not seeing this situation clearly, or at least in the way that can help them. There is a solution here, is what I'm hearing. And even in this card, it kind of indicates there's a solution. Like this person, there's the light right here. And we've been kind of seeing that in the cards too. That's been a theme. It's like been very dark and gloomy and rainy. And that could be like their mental state in regards to this situation and you. And so there is the light right here, but this person isn't able to see it because they're kind of shrouded in thought. They're like looking down and they have their hand covering it. And also just the fact that it says trapped in fear, we were talking about with the solar plexus, and that's like, oh, I was just going to say it's affecting their choices and stuff. Underneath here, we have movement, choices, and decisions. This is the Two of Wands as well. Intuition. Wow. Yeah, so it kind of do feel like it is showing us the confirmation and like the kind of similar messages that we've seen before. Like this person, even the hands is indicative of like them reaching out for something, wanting to connect, wanting some sort of community or just the connection with you, even if it's just the friendship too, because it's the 11th house. But they're not doing that. And we can see that with the Knight of Wands and the Three of Swords too. There's this want, there's this push, a desire even. All right. It feels weird ending this portion, I mean, on the Oracle cards, because now I feel like there's more here, but we did get the channeled messages and everything. So now I want to move on to get some confirmation with you. We're going to get some significant zodiac signs. We did see, where did we see? Aries with the Emperor here. I know we saw Virgo with the Hermit, or we were talking about the Hermit or something. And then the Tower peeking out right here is Mars energy. So I would even say Scorpio could be significant as well. And then also Aries, we said Aries. Okay. So let's get some significant zodiac signs. This could be confirmation. If you see your zodiac sign here, this could be confirmation as well that the message is for you. Just take it how it resonates or how you feel. Trust yourself. And if you do not see the confirmation, but this whole reading felt accurate, if you're most likely you're still here watching it, there was messages in it for you. Just use your discernment. It doesn't mean that you have to throw the whole thing out the window and stuff like that. It's just meant to be a little extra. Okay, so the first significant zodiac sign we have is Pisces. All right. Also, the month of March could be significant, or the end of February. The next one we have is Gemini. So June, or the end of May. And Sagittarius. I like that. I like when we get different zodiac signs compared from the ones that we've already said, because then it's like more like everyone can get some confirmation, hopefully. When's Sagittarius? I'm asking you guys as if you could just tell me. December and the end of November. So those months could be significant as well. Let's get some potential initials here. Okay. So the first one is an H. We have a Z. Oh my gosh, UV right here, like back to back, makes me think of the sun, like UV rays. And it kind of feels like in this reading, we've been needing some sun. We've been needing some light as well. You could be quite literally like a light to this person. We have an R. Oh, we have another U. So we have two U's and we have two V's. We also have a Y, a G, and an E. Oh my gosh, so right now we can literally spell gray. Again, that makes me think of like the gray skies, no sun. And And I do feel like this person has been going through, excuse me, I'm burping because it's the end of the reading, which means it's release time. But I do think that that's very indicative, again, of like the skies, the gray skies. It's been quite gloomy in this reading. Maybe even a little unclear. Actually, even your quartz is smoky quartz, which is quite literally cloudy quartz. I love this stone. And I do think that this is all kind of tied to some sort of clarity, wanting some sort of clarity, needing some sort of clarity, wanting to see through the fog, see through the gray. I kind of want to grab some more initials for you. Let's see what else we got here. So we have a J. We have an A. Oops, we have a B, an M, a W, and a T. So the first thing too, well, there's AJ, that could be significant as well. Was there another like nickname? We also have the word bat, and bats can be very significant when we are going through hard times, or they represent kind of flying through the darkness and maybe even not being able to see something clearly, but using your other senses. Bats are great for using their other senses to maneuver through. And they can also represent transformation in certain aspects as well. Finding your way through the night, you know, until the sun comes up, can also be like a metaphor for bat energy here too. Very interesting, guys. There's been a lot of synchronicities, I feel, in this reading, or at least like there's been patterns here for like what's been going on with this person in their mind. Specifically when it comes to you. This may not be just something that how they feel every day or like, you know, and stuff like that, but specifically when it comes to you, there is this tough kind of energy as well. I think that's all the messages for right now. I don't know why I just heard jujitsu. That is so random. Maybe someone does jujitsu here, or they practice jujitsu. I don't know. Maybe they're putting up a fight, learning skills. Interesting. But I am going to leave this reading here, though. I feel like I almost want to like brighten this up. Oh, you know what? Actually, on that note, we're going to get your advice. See, we mess up the flow and then I forget things. Actually, broken and hatched and green. This is very healing energy. Broken and hatched comes through when we are kind of facing some tough things at the same time too, where it kind of feels like we've been broken or we've been ripped open in certain parts, mainly a lot of the time, especially with this green here in our heart chakra. And it kind of feels like we're left here with like almost like bleeding, but like bleeding out these feelings, bleeding out this energy. And it can be quite uncomfortable, but Spirit is saying that you are in this process of releasing a lot of heavy stuff right now. It reminds me of like Rumi. He says something along the lines of like, when we are cracked open, what comes out will come out, but that's when we let the light in too. And so it just feels like, I just heard hold on and stay the course for you. And I'm seeing like a ship boat with like somebody as the captain and like directing the turning. There's a word for that. And you know what? In every single reading that comes up, because mainly in the charm readings, I have a charm with that and it comes out a lot, like the steering thing. And I always can't remember the word for it. And someone always leaves it in the comments. And I read it like 3 times and I still can't remember. But basically like steering this ship. here. And I'm also seeing a vision of the boat, and it's quite stormy too, and the waves are quite big. And so there is this kind of fear of this uncertainty. And Spirit saying, regardless of how it may seem, you're still on the right track. You're still going, and you're gonna be okay too, regardless. But like, even if everything feels wrong right now, there's some sort of need to kind of steer through this storm, because it's not going to last forever. I just heard Spirit has your back too. What is the message here for pile 3? Oh, that one wanted to come out almost. Body as a house. Bottom of the deck, we have restlessness. And now we have the heart eater, let the wolves out. There's nothing to fear in general, but the heart eater is making me think of almost like how you're treating yourself. Sometimes when we deal with situations or people that make us feel very uncomfortable, we don't even realize how we tend to turn and internalize that and cause damage to ourselves. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself. If this is something you've been feeling like motivated to do, this is your intuition coming through to say, yes, do that. Whether it's taking care of your body, but with the restlessness and the body as a house, Spirit's like, sometimes you have to get out of your head, get out of your mind, get out of this kind of like waiting energy, and get in your body. So honestly, your mental health is very important at this time, and maybe even doing something physical can kind of get you out and help you to move through this energy. It even looks like there's all this energy working through. It's kind of coming through their head and working through their body. So even like if you feel like doing like workouts or going for walks or just doing something to where you feel kind of active and you're not sitting there thinking, because your mind right now can be your own worst enemy. And make sure you're getting adequate sleep as well. And sometimes it's best to just allow things to work themselves out. If you've been feeling really restless, if you're feeling like you don't have control over this situation, or if there's just an energy of like overthinking, waiting, analyzing, Spirit's saying that this is doing more damage to you than good. So do what you can to kind of get out of that. Whether it's doing something in the moment, doing something for yourself, cooking yourself a good, nutritious meal, just allowing yourself, just giving yourself a break. It almost feels like, and that can be a form of surrender as well. Also, if you've been feeling or wanting to connect with Spirit or getting into more spiritual practices, or I almost wanted to say getting back to those spiritual practices for some of you, no shame if you take like breaks or anything like that. That can be very helpful as well. Sometimes it feels very counterintuitive, because especially with this restlessness energy, but it feels like the best thing to do is just to surrender to whatever the current circumstances are. Let yourself rest. Let it work itself out. And the spiritual practices can come in handy because you're trusting in Spirit. You're trusting in your higher self or a higher power to work things out. Almost like sometimes we don't even realize that we take on more responsibility than we actually have or we actually need. And some things we don't have to hold on so tightly to. Some things we can allow and give it space to work itself out, to figure itself out. It kind of feels like that's something that's needed right now, taking a little break for yourself, getting your mind off things. I want to read the body as a house. Oh, and with this, the heart eater too, it can be really easy to like be mad at the other person who's causing you these feelings, of course. And you have every right to be mad too. Rage is sacred as well. I'm not saying to not feel how you feel, but there's also a message of they're causing themselves damage here too. It's not like they're just trying to do it to you, and like there's a higher perspective here, or a higher, almost like a higher perception of like, although they're coming off as this sort of, maybe I would even say like they could be like a villain or something like that. I don't even want to go as far as saying that, but it just depending on your situation, right? Or as an example, let's just do it as an example. They could be coming off as cruel or as like a villain. They're doing it and it's causing you pain and stuff like that. And that's all understandable, and it's also not okay. But in the end, they're causing themselves just as much damage too from this. This person isn't getting away scotch-free. I just heard no one is shatterproof. Okay, what is the message for body as a house? Since that's the first one that came out, let's see what the deck has to say. Body as a house. This card represents an eerie connection between body and spirit. It's almost as if you can see your spirit through your veins move out into the cosmos. This card functions as the companion to card number 56, body. Despite this world lacking in space for healthy perceptions of our bodies, you have been able to tune it out for now. You are in a place where the health of your spirit and the health of your body are running parallel. This is balance. This is all of it. And this is wholeness. And I think that with the restlessness here, with this, Spirit is trying to get you back into that wholeness, that balance, and back into that wholeness. It may be good to just check in, you know, like, especially with all of this, like, weather, like, this metaphorical weatherness of the mind. Ask yourself, how's the weather inside you? What's going on there? Does it feel sunny? Does it feel rainy? Does it feel stormy? And just give yourself time to connect and sit with it. I think that's all maybe your body and your mind is really asking for sometimes too, is to just kind of see what's happening, checking in with yourself, giving yourself what it needs, doing what you feel is best for you. If you need to put the phone down, if you need to give yourself space, if you need to go, like we were talking about, go for a walk, cook a meal, do that for yourself as an act of self-love. Look at it as almost like an offering to yourself and to your spirit. Maybe connect with that emotional body as well and try to align it, because when we're not, whether we're not checking in on ourselves, we're not expressing ourselves, or we're just kind of avoiding that altogether, it can have effects on our health. And it could be affecting your mental health, it could be affecting your physical health and things like that, just depending on the situation, or maybe like down the line. It kind of reminds me of like the things that we're stressing in our nervous system too. Eventually that does take its toll, and it can cause health problems and health issues. So please just check in on yourself and allow yourself to sit. Maybe give yourself a couple minutes throughout the day to kind of take some deep breaths, to be a little mindful, to clear out all of the clutter and just sit and be. And I'm hearing also, before you go to sleep, do that too. Remind yourself the day is gone and now it's just you there, or whoever you're sleeping with too, but it's in your mind, right? Like when you close your eyes, now it's just you. Everything else can wash away. Everything else can be taken up at another time, but make sure that you give yourself your time to just be, to relax, focus on inner peace and calming that nervous system. And a lot of the times that has to do with our thoughts. They can have a great effect, right? Our thoughts can create these intense emotional reactions too. So remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts aren't always 100% true. And maybe you don't have to deal with that all the time. Like maybe you can say, no, we're not going to go down that route today. We're not going to worry about that right now. This is me time. You have a lot more control about, of your thoughts than we like to say. And, sometimes you don't even have to control them. You can just watch them. Be aware of them. But don't let them reel you in, especially if it's an anxiety or if it just takes you down a route that you don't really feel like you want to go. You have the power to decide as well. although sometimes that's not always the case for everyone. And if you do suffer from like a really like tough anxiety disorder, then I feel for you too. And I know sometimes that's not always like the most positive thing to hear, right? Like someone's like, oh, like if you're having like an anxiety attack or something, and someone's like, just don't. just stop. I know how frustrating that could be. I'm speaking more along the lines of like in moments of stillness for you. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling, pile 3? What's going on with you? Do you feel rushed? Do you feel like it just keeps circling and circling and circling? You know, all of these things just to bring awareness to, and that's the start. So be easy on yourself. Be easy on your mind. Connect, and you'll be okay. Make sure you're not internalizing anything as well, too. Other people's behaviors and things like that. And if it is striking a chord, it could be something that has already been internalized and just needs a little loving, and just to sit there with it and say, hey, I understand how I'm feeling right now. I understand how this is making me feel, and I'm here for you. Just a hand. Sometimes we don't even realize what a hand over the heart and just a simple like reassurance of like, I'm here, we can feel this, we're safe, it's okay. And just a little validation just to say, hey, like it's natural to feel this way. Let's feel it. Can do. I just did that right now, and I'm already feeling the energy of what I've been channeling to kind of release. Like I said, it feels very tight in the heart chakra due to probably like fears and things like that. And the second I did that and said that, I put my hand on my heart, I can feel it loosen. I can feel it. It's almost like it has room now to process, to grow, to go. So yeah, just a little advice there, I think. Most likely, I've noticed the patterns of like most likely the advices are things that you guys already know. It's just little reminders too. So whatever works, whatever helps. But I am going to leave it here though. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Thank you to those who like the videos, who subscribe, who share, or just support the channel in any way. I'm so grateful for every single one of you, and I just love doing these readings for you. So thank you so much just for being here. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next reading. So if you want to see the next reading, or maybe you want to check out some of the timeless tarot content, you can subscribe if you like to, of course. And if you don't, that's okay. Maybe I'll pop up on your feed in the future when you need it most. Who knows? And all my readings are timeless, by the way, too. So if you see one from like a year ago and it's just suddenly pops up and it has to do with your situation, or you feel drawn to it, feel free to check it out. Okay. That's it, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.